Hello, shooters, loaders, and casters. Welcome to the Georgia Shooting Connection Friday Night Live stream. We hope y'all had a good week. Rebel was dancing pretty good with the music before we hit live. So
You had your head turned, Jamie. I was jigging it.
Yeah, I had my head turned.
Jigging it.
All right, welcome everybody. Thanks for being here, fellas. Thanks to all you folks in the side chat for joining us. Let's get it started. CW, how was your week, my brother?
Good week. Real good week. We got almost 30 people in the side chat already. Welcome, everybody. Welcome. Friday night. Time to unwind and talk with buddies. Got a pretty neat topic tonight. See where it goes. Had a good week. Pretty good weather. We actually hit the 50s here in New England in February, which is pretty neat. Had some good sun on Wednesday and a big rainy day yesterday, and not a bad day today. But I never did make it to the range, although I came close. We'll see what the weekend brings and what next week brings. Hillbilly, how was your week?
Oh man, great. Sun is shining. It was, you could walk outside in a t-shirt. Oh man, that just brings a new joy on your heart, after being cold for so long. And yeah, man, it's just been awesome. Got to get out the range, shoot quite a bit this week. So yeah, just having a wonderful week, and so glad to be here. Gene, how's your week, buddy?
My week was pretty good, actually. See, it seems like we had the exact same weather because yesterday it rained. Today it was in the mid to upper 50s, really nice out, sunny. Just a good day. Got to wash my car, get some of the salt off of it. So I think this weekend's supposed to get chilly, though. Saturday and Sunday here as we got low temps coming back in. But that's okay because today made up for all of it. Got to love what you can get.
Still wintertime.
Yeah, still winter. That's okay. That's giving glimpses. I like the glimpses.
Yeah. 50s were very refreshing. It was really nice.
Yes. Let's see. I did a Pop-Tart video.
Yeah, you did.
Pop-Tarts, man. Never again. Man, those things are so crappy. But yeah, I did a Pop-Tart video. I just made another video of some stuff I got in today. So I got some new things coming out. Let's see, what else? Well, that's about it for me. Yeah. What about you, Six? What you got down there?
Well, last week kind of started out kind of crappy. After last Friday night, I got up Saturday morning. I felt like crap again. Ended up going to the doctor and got some medicine and stuff. Come along Wednesday, I started feeling pretty good. And then Wednesday afternoon, thanks to this guy right here, I really perked up. If y'all hadn't seen my video, thank you, Brian.
You're welcome.
So, yeah, got stuff going for it already, making a forearm for it and trying to find some components to load for it and stuff like that. And just getting ready to do some more shooting. I hadn't gotten anything loaded all week because I wasn't feeling good. And then all of a sudden, started feeling good, but now I still haven't got nothing loaded, so I can't go shooting this weekend. We'll get some stuff. We're supposed to have a beautiful weekend this weekend, so it's supposed to be really nice in the 80s tomorrow. That's all I've got. How about you, Mike?
I'm not going to talk about the weather. I live in the South. It's always good until it ain't, But I've been wrangling chickens all week. I got some new laying hens and excommunicated one hen and one really mean-ass rooster from the flock and let them roam around. They're doing an excellent job scratching up the garden and stuff, but I walk down there, and old Junior starts trying to flog me. Well, I've got a fiberglass rod that's 8 feet long. I knocked his ass out once, and then I knocked his butt out twice. And I'm like,
It's a family show. Family show.
Oh yeah, I know. Third time I'm gonna make fly tying feathers. I think I've said that. He's parked up on my boat I'm working on right now. Probably crapping all over it. He can't figure out where to roost without. But he's a wife beater. He's mean. He's just mean. So I might try out some rat shot patterns on him. I don't know. We'll see.
They say take them and grab them and hold them down on the ground until they just chill. And once you do that, they won't do that to you no more.
I've done this 5 times. This guy is stubborn. He is stubborn.
Time to do a little whipping.
One trip to the woodshed and they don't flog you no more.
Well, that's exactly right.
Yeah, some of them just destined for the pot. That's all.
Well,
We had a couple that were really bad. They usually come around, but sometimes they don't.
Walter, what you into? You're muted. Muted.
Pulled a hillbilly, didn't I? All right.
Did you move, Walter?
Hey, someone's got to do it. Had a
Mario,
good
you're
week here
supposed to
around
be
old
like-
Casa de Viejo. We had good weather all week. We got up over 85 degrees here yesterday. I couldn't believe it. We don't have that kind of weather in summertime around here. But yeah, I got to the range first part of the week. I got several videos put out this week, and I got me a new firearm on the bench this week. So it's been a good week all in all. Got a little bit of brass work done. I got some lead collected and brass collected at the range on Monday. So I got some work to do there, staring me in the face. But did some casting today for a couple friends, and been a good week. Been a good week. Ate a chili dog last night that I'm
Woohoo!
still tasting today from a couple of different directions.
Oh,
I didn't want to eat that chili dog, but Walks Fletcher made me do it.
Spicy Thursday.
Oh. It was good the first time. Anyway,
we call that a screamer where I'm from.
boy, I'm telling you what, man. It's a good thing I'm old and used to it, I guess. But so yeah, good week here. Mr. Mario, how is life over in the Central Valley of this here California?
I don't know how I can top off choke the chicken and chili dog. I'm serious. I don't get it.
It's a family. Hey, it's a
No,
family show.
No, that is not. That is not. I did not say it that way.
I know.
But anyways, I'm doing well. I think to me is less is more, so I'll tell more later. That's all I got.
Mark, how was your week?
Been a good week. It was a little bit long, but we made it through February. Today is the last day, and tomorrow's March. We're looking forward to some maybe better temperatures coming. I did get to the range on, can't remember if it was Monday or Tuesday. Shot that 44 special, and with those new rubber grips, it was much more manageable. There was just too many people there to film anything, so I didn't get to make a video of it. The recoil is still substantial, but it's tolerable. It's not taking up my hand.
Bless you.
So, bless you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Salud.
Hope I didn't scare Mario. No.
But I'm so happy to be here tonight. Thanks for having me. Great to be on. Looking forward to a good evening of fellowship and fun. So let's get her done.
Is it just me or Mark has that National Geographic voice? Now you see the cheetah
Mark does. Yeah.
lion. Yes, I like that, bro. You need to talk to National Geographic, bro. Get you a job.
Or the Animal
When-
Planet.
Years ago, when I worked at the airport and did gate announcements, that was a lot of fun. And for a few years, I did the morning announcements at school. And that was also kind of good. My friends have told me I have a voice for radio, face to match.
Oh, and not to toot my own horn, but Wednesday I crossed a benchmark. I turned a big 6-0 on Wednesday.
Woo,
Well, happy birthday.
Oh
Happy
man.
birthday.
Still
Wow.
alive and
Hey,
breathing.
You're
Mhm.
still
All
just
right.
a youngin. Still just a
Pop up
youngin.
give. Pop up give.
I wish I felt like it, Walter.
Shoot, man, I ain't even felt 60 since I was about 28.
Exactly.
He's only been feeling 28s.
I think we're starting to bring some of the Scotsman bad situation here. I'm just saying.
We won't sing happy birthday to you, Rebel. I hope you'll
No.
forgive us. But
No,
Please
no,
don't.
please,
Please
please
don't.
don't. No, I would appreciate that.
1, a 2, a 1, 2, 3.
Shut up, Gene. Shut up. I've heard y'all
Happy
sing.
birthday, Rebel.
all righty then. Go ahead, Mario. You're doing well.
Oh no, I'm good. And that was
I-
my Marilyn Monroe impression there of when he sang to President Kennedy. Yeah.
Yeah,
Good
that really got Jacqueline pretty
Oh.
you know.
Yeah, I mean, seriously.
Well, I,
You know,
picture,
if-
I pictured that in my mind when you were singing it. I mean,
All I can tell you, if it would have been, instead of Jackie, it would have been First Lady was Latina, she'd be coming out with machete, man.
mhm. Same with if Jackie would have been a West Virginian, she'd have shanked her butt. You know what I mean? That's for
Yeah.
sure.
Hey, by the way, before we get started, haven't you guys noticed all of a sudden John Denver's Country Road song has become like an all-time hit in the stadiums? Am I the only one that notices that?
No, it's always has been here.
Really?
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
all of a sudden it started happening here in the West Coast, and I'm like, first of all, you guys don't even know where West Virginia's at, all right? Second of all, I don't know what you guys talking about. We ain't got no country roads in California unless you live where I live or where Walter and I live. Other than that, not in the concrete jungle.
Well, if you ever go to West Virginia, they got tons of it. Okay.
Oh, I'm good. I'm good.
It's a beautiful state. The people
Oh,
are not.
it is.
The people are not necessarily beautiful, but
I didn't want to
It's-
say it, but okay.
well, I mean, my wife's from there, and she says the same thing. It's an impoverished state, and you can always tell a coal miner's house it's made of brick, and looks pretty nice, and because they made good money back in the day, and but they can put a mobile home on the side of a mountain like nobody's business. I swear to God, Chinook helicopters carry those things in and set them on the side of a mountain.
Well, thank you for that, Rebel.
Well,
God.
just in case you ever wanted to visit, I didn't
Oh
want.
no, yes.
I didn't
good,
want
like
it to
I
be a
said.
shock, you know.
Oh,
didn't
no, I'm sure it is, but I already had an idea. But thank you.
Yeah, 2520 brass is very expensive if you can find it.
Oh yeah, you're not going to find that around very easy.
Well, that kind of brings us to our first topic, right? I mean, we wanted to talk about collectibles, maybe Milsurp rifles and handguns, and there's Abigail. Hey, Abby. But the one thing I want to stress before somebody would think that they're not going to be relevant in this conversation is that there's a lot more collectible guns and gear and stuff like that than just military surplus. And the one Walter recently absconded with was, and it's the newer version, maybe not so much, but it was in its original form was a classic, the Smith & Wesson Model 10, and we'll get into all of that as time permits. But yeah, there's Dave Thorzaks. All you guys, we'll call y'all out at the bottom of the hour. What are some of our favorites? I think my favorite Milsurp right now may be my Finnish Model M39 Mosin. But that's probably only because I'm reloading and doing a ladder test, fixing to do some ladder testing with that. So maybe that's why that's on my mind. I really like my K98 as well, the German bolt gun. The only other really Milsurp gun I have is a Colt 45, 1911. Six, what you got?
I really ain't got much of them collectibles as far as guns or knives or anything. I've never been a real collector, so if I was going to, I'd probably do some World War II type firearms. I like to get a Garand and a carbine. You know, my dad likes doing those.
See, that's one of the things that's breaking my heart is the price of American Milsurp guns is just
they're just crazy,
just gone through the roof. And
I remember as a kid going into the Woolworth and stuff, and you see them on the shelf for like $20, you know.
Yeah, especially the M1 carbines.
Oh yeah.
They couldn't give them away. Now they're 1,500 taters.
Yep. Yeah, we got the 1911 already, so I'd like to get some of the other ones, but that's about all. I'm not a particular person, you know, collect a line of models or anything like that. So
yeah, I just got a few. Just when I've seen them and they've come available at what I thought was a decent price that would go up, I kind of latched on to them. Edward Petty's got a good one there, K98 or 1903 Springfield. And I've run up on a 03 Springfield. It's really been, a lot of those have been what we call sporterized. They're no longer in stuff in collectible condition. But yeah. Yeah, those are great rifles, Dave. There's Reloader 762. He's got a 1952 Russian Tula SKS, 1933 Hex Tula M9130. Those are great starts right there, man. Good to see Reloader 762 out there this evening. Good to see all y'all out there. So, CW, you want to chime in?
K98 or 98 Mauser variants. That's my number one. They have been since forever. One of the first rifles I took deer hunting when I was a kid, and I've had a whole pile of them since. Sporterized some, left some the way they were. That's my number one. I've never been a big one for anything else. I got a couple of Springfields, which is just a copy. But you know, I appreciate a lot of the other ones, but the 98s are my thing.
I really like mine. Let's go ahead, Rebel.
Well, when it comes to gun owners, I always say there's hunters, there's gatherers, and there's collectors. And I guess I'm a gatherer. I don't have much that's collectible. I've got a lot of stuff that's desirable, but not that's collectible. I do have a gun that a American soldier in the Army took off a Filipino in the islands during the American occupation. He was slated to invade Tokyo. Truman dropped the bomb. He loved Truman. They turned around, went straight to the Philippines, and he took this gun off a Filipino, and it was handmade, break open, near as I can tell, 38 caliber smoothbore. And he was afraid someone would actually pick it up. He had kids, so he was an engineer. He filed the firing pin out of it, but he gave me that gun, and I still have it. And to me, it's priceless. I mean, it's a piece of crap. It's a homemade gun, but pretty well made, I would say. But it was kind of a Filipino liberator, I guess, designed to pick up a Japanese rifle or whatever. I have an Italian switchblade given to me from a World War II vet that picked it up in Italy, and it's handmade. It's a stiletto. That's pretty cool. And I sold an original 03 at the shop, not an A3, but an 03 that had the magazine and the bayonet intact, and that brought a pretty. I paid a pretty penny for it, but it brought a pretty penny as well. SKSs have gone stupid. I wish I could go back in time and buy, like Tex said, and go to every silver trash can and buy all the carbines, all the SKSs, all the 03s, everything that was there in one check, and walk out of there and then fly my put a banana in my engine like Marty and the professor did, and fly back to 2025 and sell them for what they're worth now. But in my shop, what's collectible is a Remington 700 and a wood stock with a A or B or no letter prefix, a really old Remington. I don't know why those guys love them so much. I mean, they're great rifles, obviously, but that's what they want. So if you get one of those, you're golden here. And a lot of that's regional stuff, you know. That's all I got.
That's good stuff, man. Red Raider Reloading said, I consider the SIG P239 collectible. Got it in 357 SIG. I agree. There's Reloading Quest. He's over on the Rumble side. Thanks for being here. Yeah, the earlier Thorzax brought up the K31. All of those Swiss rifles, all of those are excellent. From the 31, the 1911, I think, is one of them.
You're talking about the Schmidt Rubens?
Yeah.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah, KFW says K98 and 8mm is awesome. I really like mine. Timothy Burkett has a reloading question. What's the best powder for 45-70 410 grain?
The one you can find on the shelf.
What's pressure level?
Yeah.
What are you looking to load it to?
Yeah, I use for my Marlin, I use 30-31. It works great. A lot of guys consider 41-98. You know, it's lower pressure, but
Well, if you're going to load it in an old Springfield, you want to be using it different than if you're loading it in a Ruger or Marlin or Browning or something like that.
that's
He's
right.
gonna be-
Real careful.
He's going to
Yep.
be loading it in a Henry lever gun.
I'll be the same as the Marlin.
My favorite is either 4198 or Reloader number 7.
Reloader 7 is another good one.
If you're going to load lighter loads, I like 5744.
Walt's like 30, 31. Yeah.
I'd be filling it full of 70 grains of black powder.
Wow. Too much cleaning, dude. Yeah, Daniel, I shoot a 300 grain hollow point. And it's not zipping, but it's zipping for a 45-70.
I know Mark Thomas has got some collectible stuff.
Yeah, there's a few pieces down there. Got some, what do we got? The SKS, the AK. Got a nice Mosin Nagant pistol. Some Makarov pistols. Love them all. Won't sell them. They're just going to stay in there.
I understand.
I would like to have a nice 30-40 Krag. That's one of my goals. That's just one of those things from like Spanish-American War. Haven't got one yet. They've gotten stupid expensive, but that's a goal.
Yeah, I can see that. So it's about time for us to call out the side chat. Yeah, Abigail, you'd really like the Mosin Nagant revolver. The cylinder moves forward and seals against the barrel. They usually have a really heavy trigger pull because of that. But yeah,
They do, but it's really unique, and my love for that 32 caliber, that definitely fuels that too. It's a cool old piece.
check that out. Service has got quite a collection.
Yeah, he does.
Inglis High Power. That's interesting to me. Oh, I forgot. I've got an SKS too, but I haven't gotten it out of the Cosmoline. I guess that's the reason I don't count it. It's because I've never shot it yet. But it's still packed in Cosmoline.
Go get you a 5-gallon bucket of diesel fuel. Clean that booger up.
Yeah, it's probably might take 10. Well, it's that bad.
Yeah.
The
Brake
stock
Clean does a good job.
I don't have all I got brake clean is those aerosol cans, man. I need a
Yeah, get about 3 or 4 of them. That'll
Couple
do.
cases of those.
you can go through 2 cases. Yeah, I think
Diesel fuel or kerosene is what I always used.
you let them soak in there.
Yeah, you can soak them. Yep, take them out of stock and let them soak.
Look at Walks. He's got a infield. Short magazine Lee Enfield.
I've got one of those too.
Yeah.
Shoot worth of shit though.
Well, you didn't say that when it was your turn.
I just said I had one. I didn't collect them.
Yeah, but we're still going to count it as a collectible. Yeah, Bama Dad, I'm thinking about. I got an old 5-gallon bucket back there in the back that's got. It's where a woman went to fill up her car and she put diesel fuel in her gas tank. So it's gasoline and diesel mixed together.
There you go.
That's some of the best parts cleaner you can come up with.
Just don't smoke around it.
Well, I don't do that anyway, but yeah.
Yeah.
So Walter, what can we type in, man? You got any ideas?
I've been thinking milsurp. How's that sound?
That'll be all right. Can y'all spell milsurp?
Yep, just did it.
Yeah, there's Mike Hester's in.
Oh, look at that. Oh man, some of you guys can spell. Congratulations.
And he's in first and on the panel. And
Whee!
they're gone. There we go. Let me back it up here. So
You'll slurp.
Slurp, yeah.
Who's slurping?
That's
So-
the ones you buy down there at the 7-Eleven store.
Yeah, they went to 7 and said, "Thank you, come again."
So CW Longshot's here. He's in the panel and the side chat. So is Mike Kester. So is Reloading from the Hot Pot. So is Viejo Walter. We got Crash out there. 6-shooter Texan is on the, or Texas 6 is on the panel and in the side chat as well. Paul Loud, Bama Dad, Dale Pogue. Hillbilly Up is on the panel. He's over there.
He's slurping.
Alaska 1 Andy. My brother, MCK Mock, is out there. Tim S. Service Venator. Walks Fletcher. Edward Petty. Glenn Davis. Abigail Finnegan. Timothy Burkett. Red Raider Reloading. Yeah. That's a tongue twister, buddy. Daniel God is my judge. Good to see you, brother. Andre D'Angelo. Mark Thomas is on the panel as well. Reloader 762. GGW Outdoors. Kentucky Rimfire and Hobbies. We're missing him on the panel tonight. Alaska 1 Andy. Glenn Davis. Bama Dad said milk soup. Bobby Barlow is out there. Dwayne 7834. And Service Venator says it correctly. Military surplus. Yeah. And Glenn Davis is cursing autocorrect. Been there, done that. So is Paul Loud. And I think we're up to date at that point. Thank y'all all for being here. We appreciate you more than you know. And thank you. Thank you for spending some of your time with us on a Friday night. Who are we up to? Hillbilly, you got any collectible stuff, milsurp stuff?
High points don't count.
And it don't have to be milsurp to be collectible, buddy.
Yeah, I mean, I do have well, it's not in my possession yet, but my dad has an M1 carbine that I shot a lot growing up that hopefully will become mine. And of course, you got, some older Marlins and, a few things like that. But yeah, as far as the milsurp, a lot of that stuff, I really don't have any of that. It's just, I mean, it's great stuff. It's just, I just haven't really collected. I used to have a couple of SKSs back in the day and stuff, a few of them, but yeah, they're good stuff. But I do remember, I think I was 16 years old. One of my buddies, he went to the local pawn shop, gun and pawn shop, and bought him a 30-06, milsurp, and him and another buddy of ours is out shooting. The first time he shot it, it blew up on him. And so,
that's
person
too bad.
does have to be careful.
Well, they always tell you, any of these milsurps really should go to a gunsmith to have looked at because they a lot of them sit around for a long, long time, and you don't know where they pulled that box from. It may be, not fit for use. You just don't know.
Yeah, any old gun like that. If you have any doubts at all, take it and get it checked out.
Yeah, his
We've
hand
got-
looked like black rubber for I don't know, a good several months, and the side of his face, and he had some. He lucky nothing like bad got hit, but yeah,
I spent about 6 hours having powder pulled out of my face when I was about 18 years old when a shotgun blew up on me. So I know it's not fun.
yeah.
It's not fun.
Yeah, that's always scary. So we got the crazy Scotsman snuck in here on us. How was your week, my brother?
10-hour days, long week.
Yeah, at least you made it. You told me last week you wasn't gonna make it tonight.
No, because so last week it was Monday through Thursday. This week it was Tuesday through Friday. So I was able to get out early this week.
Okay, good. We're always glad to have you, man. You
Yeah,
know,
glad you're here.
Always good to be here.
what do you think about mill serps and collectibles? I know you got some Smiths.
Yeah, I got a bunch of Smiths. As you know, I got a couple more coming this year. I'm always looking at different mill serps. There's a couple out there I wouldn't mind to have. I was in M1 Garen. And there's a few others, a couple bolt guns, and actually some older Beretta pistols too. So
Yeah, those are nice. Yeah, you can find those at places like AIM Surplus and Classic Firearms and Royal Tiger, I think. Is that right?
yep, Royal Tiger, yep. You gotta watch them though. Sometimes they can be pretty pricey.
Well, not just that. Some of their stuff that's not pricey is junk.
Right.
It's in very bad shape. I mean, you can look at it.
I've seen them advertise that it's in, good to excellent, or fair to good, and all that, and then shows up and it's not even close to a fair as far as grading goes.
Yeah, sometimes you wonder who's grading this stuff.
Y'all got to remember, a lot of stuff that wasn't collectible even 5 years ago is now collectible. Like Hillbilly said, old Marlins, they bring a premium.
Yeah, they do.
Oh,
Those
yeah.
ones with that JM stamp on them.
Mm-hmm.
Paul
Paid a
said,
good- I paid a good penny for the wife's Marlin.
I paid a good price for the last one I bought, too.
Back in my day, that was a $150 gun all day long. You
Right.
traded them. I mean, no big deal.
It was a working man's gun.
So was a Winchester 94. I mean, it wasn't. I paid $90 for my first 94.
That's all I paid for mine.
Yeah. So what about you, Mario? I would think with your YouTube handle, you'd have a bolt action or two.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, I do have a couple of Tulas, Mosins that I started with. I remember when I bought my Mosins, I think I paid $80 for them, and
Wow.
I regret to this day not buying more, because I bought two, and I should have bought more. But let me see. I also have a I think 1982 SIG P229 Classic. It was from the German police. It actually still has the German police symbols on the slide. It's pretty cool. I got a M1 Garand not too long ago from the CMP. I really enjoyed that rifle. Actually, because I was not really sure about reloading that stuff, so I went and bought a box, and man, that box was expensive. So, but I really enjoyed shooting that rifle. It was really cool. And I also purchased a 1911 from the CMP that I really like. Really, what I really like about it is that the actual pistol itself says property U.S. Army, and I like that, because it's kind of nostalgic and it's kind of cool. It's just something I want to give to my grandkids or my family, whenever I, leave this world. But that's pretty much all I got. The only other things, what I've been doing too, is just I've been trying to purchase like firearms that I actually got to shoot when I went to Iraq. So I bought an M1A, which is kind of similar to what we had in Iraq with the sniper team, and then I got an AR-10 that trying to mimic to what we kind of had in the sniper team. And also purchased, a Beretta, the 92 FS. It's kind of similar to what I had in the military. And a couple ARs. I actually created a M16, kind of like M16A2. Like my first rifle that I took to Iraq was an M16A2, I believe, or A3, and it had a 203 grenade launcher. And yeah, it was fun, and I got to shoot the 203 quite a bit. So it was fun. But yeah, that's kind of been cool. And also, I also purchased Mossberg 500 because that's one of the guns that we use to breach. So that was always fun. And I'm hoping that in the coming years, the CMP will release some of the military surplus M9s. Even though I'm sure many of them are quite beat up, I still would like to have one just so I can say that I have something from a government agency other than what you purchase with the civilian shops and stuff like that. So that's pretty much all I got.
That's a good list, Mario. Good stuff, man. Good stuff.
I didn't say anything about collectibles, but you mentioned the Marlins. The Marlins have always been near and dear to my heart as well. But I've had quite a few of them through the years. Working in the shops, you get pick up these things, and like Mike said back in the day, Winchester's always commanded a little more dollars than the Marlins. The Marlins for us around here were a little more common, a little more plain, a little cheaper. But yeah, I mean, back in the day, I'm talking the late 80s, early 90s, at $150 for a used Marlin was, 250 was a 225 was a Winchester. Just not a 92. Those were 94s. 92s always had a little more dollars behind them. But any of the Marlins, 30-30s, the 336s or the 1894s were, $150, $200 all day long. That's it.
Mario, what was
crazy.
the designation for the AR-10 in the military? Mark?
I think it's Mark 11 or something like that. I don't recall.
Yeah. That's close anyway.
Yeah, but yeah, I got to shoot that, and I got to shoot a Barrett, but I know I'm not gonna get a Barrett in this state. I would have to move to like Arizona or someplace, or Utah,
Or North Carolina.
You guys can actually, dude. No, I'll leave that one alone. But
I can have anything I want, just about. It's on this side of the 1968.
Yeah, but I don't think I want to shoot own a Barrett. That's kind of like buying a Desert Eagle. Like, what's the point, man? Like, I don't get it.
It is.
Yeah. So no, I would want something I want to shoot more often. It's more affordable to shoot, but yeah.
That's a fun gun to shoot, though, man.
Yeah, but sending a 750 grain projectile down range ain't cheap.
No, it ain't.
No, it ain't. Well, actually, I never thought about it until I got out of the military and had to buy my own ammo. I'm like, oh my goodness! I started doing the Elizabeth, Sanford's like, Elizabeth.
There's Ron 2A Matters. What's going on, brother? Yeah, this is the thing with the Winchester versus the Marlins. I chose the Marlin because I wanted to be able to put a scope on my deer gun, and I never liked the thought of that hot brass coming up in my face. And Walt says there's just something about that top eject Winchester. And then we hear some of the folks talking about, well, it was Walt said he wanted a post-war pre-64 Model 94. And after 64, one of the things they did was they started doing that kind of canted eject where it didn't come straight up. It kind of went
Angle eject. Yeah, they also went to stamp parts. They went away from the cast parts.
right.
They got cheaper.
So they're they post 64 Winchesters and pretty much all of their guns are not as desirable.
My dad,
But the angle eject was arguably a stronger action. It's got more metal in it.
my dad had a pre 64. Somebody broke in the house, stole it.
Yeah. Another thing I kind of want to do is I'm getting older and now I have two grandsons. It's like I want to start kind of like creating like little mementos for them so they know like what I did and stuff like that. I don't know if you guys recall, I made a video a long time ago and I had bags, like these bags that I got from Iraq, and it had like a lot of mementos and stuff that I never thought was like really meaningful until now. Like one of the things that I had was this is basically a note that I would give to somebody if I become a POW, and they would have it in Arabic and have it in different dialects because there's more than one dialect in Iraq, and it was one of those things that you would hand out to them. So I have a copy of this pristine collection, pristine condition, and I kind of like want to frame it for them so they have it. Like other little mementos that I had with me, like I had I had a rosemary rosary that I had with me all the time. So, and like I have like all this currency from Iraq and like a big map that talks about like all the areas that we did. And I kind of started thinking about, I kind of purchased like these little die-cast models of the type of vehicles that I use. So this was a M2 Bradley fighting vehicle, and I have one of a M1 tank, and the other one is a Striker. So it's like little things like that they can see, they can kind of understand it. So whenever I do take them to like the Pat Museum in Georgia, they can go and see it and actually view it and know what it looks like and stuff like that.
That's really cool, Mario.
Yeah, there's a lot of guys will make shadow boxes with their mementos in there, so their family have it later down the road. It's just you, Tim S. Who thinks Mario looks like Howard Cosell?
It says Howard Cosell. I'm here with the greatest of them all, Muhammad Ali.
If you're going to do that, Mario, you got to say, and down goes Frazier.
Down goes Frazier. Down goes Frazier. He got an over pulverizing right, and he is down for the count.
He don't sound like Howard, but the inflection is there. Hey, he's got it.
Yeah,
man. I mean, that's kind of hard. That's a hard guy to impersonate.
Yeah,
man.
you're not lying.
But hey, there's one thing Mario has that he never had. Mario's got the greatest eyebrows on YouTube.
Hey, ain't that the truth?
Yeah.
They got their own personality.
They have separate personalities.
Yeah, one's named Melvin and one's named Charlie. There you go.
Yeah,
that's the look.
It's the headset. Tim S said it's the headset. Yeah.
There's other things that you can collect though, and this guy up here, I know he's got a lot of ammo, different ammo, oddball ammos, antique ammo. I've got a little box full of them in there. And another thing I've been collecting is old powder cans.
That's
A
pretty.
lot
cool.
of times you'll see you'll see people keep old ammo pouches and stuff as well.
I had a case of machine gun and aircraft gauge lubricant from World War II, and some of the cans had leaked, but I sold those things for $10 a can, and some guys actually used the oil and said it's great friggin' oil, and I was like, well, use it sparingly because there ain't no more of it. That came from real dinosaurs. So
Yeah. Yeah.
Something that Mario said, and a lot of people, because the M16 got a bad rap in Vietnam because of a lot of reasons. It wasn't the design, it was the powder, the lack of cleaning kits, the this, the that, the back, the forth, but if you think about it, the M16, the M4 has been our longest serving service rifle, compared to all of the ones we call great, like the M1 Garand, or as Scotsman and Mario say correctly, Garand, but I can't do that because of my accent. But and the carbine and everything, but the M16 platform has been a very long serving issued rifle in one way or another, and
it's no similar than an M1 Abrams. If you think about it, the M1 Abrams has been around since the 70s. There's 6 versions of that tank that's been around. This one here has been around since I think the early 80s, and there's 4 versions of the Bradley fighting vehicle. So I think what we have compared to other countries is we have much better engineering. Same thing with the Chinook. Chinook is on its 4th version right now. It's one of the longest serving helicopters that we have. It's also the fastest helicopter we have. Believe me, I've been on the back of a Chinook going full speed, and it's better than any ride I've ever been in, man. So I can tell you.
I watched on Topsail Beach. I watched a Chinook come down the beach. I'm right down the way from Camp Lejeune, and I watched a Chinook come down the beach, and then 2 Apaches came in behind it, and they were kind of hot rodding it, and the Apaches turned and started racing back toward Lejeune, and the Chinook turned and passed them both. Those two big choppers or 2 big propellers on that thing, they're just awesome. I mean, when that thing leans up like this and starts, it's like Mario says, it's booking. It's really booking. It's impressive to watch a vehicle that big fly that fast.
Yeah, but we all can't afford to buy our own helicopter. It'd be cool if we could.
Well, technically you can, because you're paying your tax dollars to have it. I mean, you don't get to enjoy it, but just know that your tax dollars do pay for it.
I want a C-130 Spooky.
No, there's only I think there's only a handful of those, buddy.
I know I can't afford to feed it anyway.
Well, I want to address something that Six said, and something Bama Dad kind of referred to over in the side chat, and we ain't heard a lot from Walter, so they kind of focusing on you here, Walter, if you're still there. In my opinion, bullet molds are collectible.
Here, we got a few of those.
Yeah, got a few.
So I'm wondering, how many do y'all have, and what is your favorite?
How many? I got about 300.
Oh my God.
Wow.
I can give you a favorite brand, but a favorite mold is going to be per caliber because there is no favorite mold, just favorite brand. Like Hensley and Gibbs would be a top contender, and an MP out of the modern stuff.
Yeah, Seiko's got some good ones too. I mean, they run well. I'm not a huge fan of all their designs, but I've got probably my most favorite is also the oldest one I own, and it's came to me down through family lines, and so that's why I have it. It's an old Ideal number 6 reloading tool for 3855. It's a pliers type tool that's got the bullet mold in it, as part of the tool, and it does it all. We'll decap, resize, size the bullet, cast the bullet, does everything. That's kind of a neat old timer. It was in bad shape when I got it. I refurbished it, and I've actually cast a few bullets and shot it.
But back in the day, that was standard equipment.
Yep. Yeah, that's what you had. You had one tool that did everything. Cast, single cavity mold, and you sit there and cast the bullet and fill the grease screws with bacon grease or bear grease or something, and go shoot it. But
it came with the gun when you bought it.
Yeah. Anyways, I don't know. I got a couple of Hensley and Gibbs molds that I like. I got a bunch of them. I think I have like 25 Hensley and Gibbs molds. And one of the ones that I like the best, CW won't like it because it's a 9mm round nose.
Well, it's got 2 strikes against it.
It's got, but it is Hensley and Gibbs, and it's one of their older ones. It's a number 7.
No me plat.
It's got no me plat. No me plat at all. But it shoots good. It's 125 grain round nose bullet, and it shoots really, really, really good. So, but I'm kind of a CW. I like of the newer genre. It's pretty hard to beat an MP mold if you want to make hollow points. That boy does good work, and you get so many choices of hollow point design. And you get a 4 cavity mold, and you can do 4 different nose designs all on the same cast. And his brass molds they just run. They're good. Favorite lineman's probably 429, 421. That just cause it's a Keith design. And
tell you, for the price he sells those brass molds for, that's a good price.
Oh, and he's always got sales going on. You can get a 2 cavity MP mold for $70.
Those last ones I made for y'all, I was searching to get some brass because we didn't have any at the shop. It was going to cost me, so much money to get enough brass.
So I can believe it. Yeah. Because that's a big chunk of brass that you got to start with.
Yeah. I mean, a 3/4 by 1.5 inch brass flat bar. And it was going to cost me several $100s to get like a 24-foot piece of it.
Wow.
Not 24, but 24 inch.
Yeah. Yeah. So you wonder how that guy does it, and he ships them for like $22 or something, FedEx, and you order it Monday and it's on your bench by Wednesday or Thursday. It's incredible.
I've ordered the end of a week, Thursday-ish, Friday morning, and I've had them on Monday over a weekend. And I literally from the other side of the world.
Slovenia.
I can't get them. I can't get them out of Texas that fast. I can't get them out of Tennessee that fast. Out of Michigan.
Yeah.
Well, I will say this about one thing. That package you sent to 6 made it in record time. You shipped it Monday morning. It was there Wednesday when he got home from work.
That was special delivery.
Yeah.
That's a modern.
That's just because the postman was trying to get the hell out of Connecticut.
No, that's because God was on your side, brother. That's what that was.
He knew what that was all about, and he was all behind it.
That's it, boy.
So Waller, I remember when you first started doing the Molding Mondays, that you showed a tool chest full of molds. Do you have just the one tool chest full of molds, or you have multiple, considering you got 300 plus?
Oh yeah, there's more. There's more than that one that I showed. I got a couple of big rolling carts full.
Kind of figured you probably would have.
Yeah. I haven't counted them lately. I guess I ought to. I gave a couple away, but not many.
I just ordered another Lee this week.
Did you?
Yep. A 95 grain. I thought I had a 6 cavity of it. I didn't. So now I do.
Oh. Yeah, well, and you can't discount Lee for molds either. You know, some of their molds lately, their attention to detail is kind of rough. You look down in the channels for the handles, and there's big old flashings in there, burrs. You got to get those out before the handles will even go in. They got some sharp edges and stuff on them. You can cut yourself. But you get that 6 cavity mold and get one that runs, boy, you can make a pile of bullets. You can empty your pot and nothing flat. I'm telling you. And that's hard to beat for the $50 price tag.
I got 2 of those 358 125s, and I sat out there and I make some bullets fast.
I've seen you make mountains of bullets with those 2 poles.
Yeah, I've got to do that, and I'm trying to get ready for the rest of the season in cowboy action shooting. But you know, if y'all are interested in stuff like that, bullet molds and casting and that kind of stuff, CW has more than one videos about how to make a Lee 6 cavity mold perform well. And you might say, well, and he brings this point out in the video, is that, you know, it's a lot of work to get it to do what you want it to do. And you might think, well, it should come that way from the factory. Well, what would it cost if it had all that done from the factory? The point is, for what it is and for what it does, and the price you pay for it, you can afford to put an hour or 2 of labor into it, and have a really well groomed, well oiled machine going there, man. And some of Lee designs are absolute copies of some of these great mold makers, like Walter's been talking about. Hensley and Gibbs and all that kind of stuff. Those classic old designs are proven shootable. And to me, I judge a bullet mold in 2 factors. Number 1, castability. Number 2, how well does the bullet shoot?
Yep.
If you can't make good bullets out of it, well, it's not going to shoot. But if it's a poor design, it ain't going to shoot well either.
That's right.
So that's my criteria for a bullet mold. And like Six said, there's so many things that you can collect that's gun 2A related stuff. And I know all y'all in the side chat still have your Trump signs out in the yard. And I know you do. And
What's his name, Mario?
His name is Bruno.
Oh, that's Bruno down there. You're a cute little guy. Hey, Bruno. I see you.
He is.
Willie had one.
He's something else. Yeah. A friend of mine ordered a annealer, a brass annealer out of Czechoslovakia, and it works similar as the bench source. And I know a lot of you guys probably aren't looking at annealers, but the bench source is pushing 6 bills right now. And the Czechoslovakian one, I forget the company, A something, I can't remember, but it works just like it, but it's more compact. Gets great reviews on Accurate Shooter, and it costs 3 bills. And he ordered it, and it came out of Czechoslovakia. He followed the shipping, and at the same time, he ordered a piece for a Anschutz rail off of Amazon, and the Czechoslovakian annealer beat the Amazon California shipping.
Yeah.
By
FedEx shipping, man. FedEx International shipping is fast.
It's wow.
It could, either that or DHL. DHL is pretty fast from Europe.
Yeah, them boys don't play.
Yeah, the trick is getting it intact.
Absolutely. So, hillbillies, they anything other than guns or gear or that kind of stuff that you collect 2A related?
Oh, 2A related? No. No, I mean, I do
Ex-girlfriends
have,
don't count.
I do have, a few older, different rounds of ammo, that, is pretty old that I don't know. I thought it was cool to have it. So I got, some of that, but nothing real special. A few older knives. But yeah, no, I really don't have, a big collection of, older stuff, especially, other than basically the Marlins and, a few of those, but yeah, it's,
I gotta disagree. You have a very big collection. You're just not talking about it, man. You got a very big collection sitting out in your yard, and you know what that is? That's hard seltzer cans that have been taken out. You got bodies laying all over the place.
yeah, we do have a lot of hard seltzer cans that's all of a sudden just come apart.
Like we were talking before we went live, we were talking about a couple of us have some pretty good knife collections. Knives go hand in hand with the firearms.
Absolutely.
A couple of us really like them. So there's we do that knife. What is it? Knife Friday or Knife Thursday or what do we do? That's still running around the internet there. A few of us did. I did a bunch of them.
Friday, yep.
A few of us did them. And Mike gives away knives all the time on his chats. So I mean, we like knives too. So a lot of us have knife collections.
Jeff
Gary
does it every Friday. He must have.
I've had a chance to buy a few Randalls, but the prices of Randalls are way up there now. So
Oh yeah,
I missed that opportunity.
But, yeah, I
They're
got
as bad as JM stamped Marlins now, ain't they?
some.
Yeah.
But I got, just some old pocket knives and stuff that, I remember going to the pawn shop or whatever with my grandfather and, be really cool. A little pocket knife in there. It said like Purina, for, Purina feeds, just stuff like that. That's pretty neat. A few old Barlows, it seems like you could always pick up a used Barlow somewhere for almost nothing, and two-bladed Barlow. But yeah, that's kind of about it for me as far as that stuff.
I got a Case XX Hawkbill that's pretty old. They're kind of collectible. A lot of people collect case knives. I don't really do that, but I do have one that's collectible.
I think Kentucky Rimfire does some of that.
Yeah, that you can get deep. You can go down a rabbit hole with Case.
Well, he has several Hawkbills. With his job being a lineman, that's the only knife they can have with them, a Hawkbill. And I think he just showed one he just got the other day on a video, new one. But
well, here in the
Hawkbill's
south, a Hawkbill with a broke spring was your pool room knife. I won't say what it was used for, but it was for knife fighting. But that's a nasty.
So which one of you guys has those really cool horseshoe knives that somebody in the side chat makes or whatever the case may be? I don't think you guys don't know who I'm talking about, but don't want to put his name out there because then everybody's going to hit him up. But
I don't. I have a railroad spike knife, but I don't have.
I got one of those.
Yeah, twisted handle.
Yeah, maybe we'll have just a show on knives coming up soon. There's old garage guy. What's going on, buddy?
Hey, Mark.
I got one other thing that I've
You guys
been
got
trying to collect is some old Benjamins.
Oh
There
yeah,
you go.
air guns. There you go. Air guns. are
Air
those.
guns.
Yep.
Yeah.
I've got a couple. I've got a pistol and a rifle. Whenever I can find them, dirt cheap, I pick them up. But most of them, I think they got gold on them, but it's just brass.
Sheridans. I love the Sheridans. I got half a dozen of those.
Yeah.
Different models through the years and different eras.
Speaking of that, Six, I've got a lot of old Bear recurve bows. At a
Yeah.
yard sale, you could pick those up pretty cheap.
Mm-hmm. I had one bear recurve, a grizzly.
I think
That's
I got
what
two.
I
That's
shot
what I
that bow
started
a
with.
lot.
Mhm.
I got a Ben Pearson downstairs. I got a Martin.
I have a Browning.
They made
Those
them
are
too.
those are always pretty.
Yeah, I got a few different bears, recurves.
There was another company too. I can see their logo. I can't think of their name. It was they were associated with PSE. Not ancient, but 50s and 60s.
I know who you're
Dartmouth?
talking
Not
about.
Dartmouth?
Something like that.
Something
Darton.
like that.
Darton.
Darton? Yeah, maybe Darton.
That was it.
Yeah. I got one of theirs too. That's a pretty bow. Really nice, pretty laminated. Extra curvy recurve. It was had a really curvy limbs with exotic woods. Howard Hill, yeah, longbows.
Yeah. Yeah, the nicest one I got. It's got African purple heartwood. Real nice bow.
Yeah, VAO, I killed my first deer with a Martin Black Mamba, 50-pound recurve.
Yep.
And I could still see the fletches of that era going through that deer.
Oh yeah. Yep.
At 25 yards. Oh man, that was so cool. I felt like Fred Bear, until I saw the video with him and a polar bear, and I was like, no, I'm not Fred Bear.
I've got a couple of deer with the bow, probably a couple dozen deer with the bow on the ground early on. We never hunted our trees.
One other thing we haven't really talked about too that is collectible and that a lot of people do, and I do a lot of too, is I got a ton of different books, not just for firearms, but for reloading, the whole shebang and that whole genre. Obviously, I do appraisals and stuff like that, so I tend to have that for that purpose. But anytime I come across a good old book, I'll buy it if it's a good price.
Good Lord, if you look online, any of Elmer Keith's books or P.O. Ackley's books, they're bringing a premium right now.
Oh yeah, no, I got a couple different ones. The last one I picked up was $100 for one of their books for Keith's book. I've seen it go as high as $250, but I was able to find it for $100 that day.
Those are signed usually.
Yeah, when they get up into that price range.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mine's not signed.
I saw a signed book. This is not 2A related at all, but a guy brought it in. He got it off of Amazon. It was a signed book by Bob Clouser, who designed the Clouser minnow in Ohio. He's a famous fly fisherman, and it was signed by him, and had his pictures of his hand tying the flies and all kind of stuff. To me, that's just neat. I collect frying pans, old Griswolds and Wagners and stuff
cast
like
iron.
that. Yeah, that brings big money now.
Where's Fuzzy? Fuzzy loves them.
And
Yeah.
you just said lures. I mean, lures is a big thing to collect. Are the reels? Some of the old
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah, Preacher
Some of-
loves them. I sent him a box of them there. I had picked up somewhere.
The old Mitchell spin casters, the old ambassadors are really worth a lot of money. But like you said, old Lure 6, some of those things you look at them compared to a modern lure and you wonder how they ever caught a friggin' fish, but they do. They still work.
Yeah, another thing. Every guy on this panel collects. I promise. And you don't even know you're doing it.
Lint in your belly button.
No. Besides that, I try to get rid of that in the shower. But I think we all got quite a stack of reloading die sets at this point in our life.
Oh, boy.
Oh my God. Yes.
Yep. Every once in a while, I look at my pile of die sets and I go, "What in the world are you doing with all of these dies?"
I know.
But they come in handy. You know, you all of a sudden find one that this die ain't working. I need to go look through my stash, see what else I got that'll work better. And
Yeah.
sometimes you
An
got
extra crimping die or an extra seating die or a
it.
I was
Extra
at the
stem.
reload store today looking for a crimp die, and they didn't have what I wanted. Man, this is a sad day.
Oh, well,
Walks, quit lying. You use tongs.
I use a leaf blower.
You know, another one too is tools of the trade, man. You know, a lot of us work in our own guns, and you know, got a good collection of tools.
Got plenty of duct tape.
There's
yeah,
Leadsmith.
yeah. See, Leadsmith, that's one of the things that lead us to buying a new gun, man.
Yeah.
Not just dies and molds, but brass. You get a stack of brass up. Like, I've got a box down there, one of those medium USPS shipping boxes. I got one of those full of 308 brass, and I do not own a 308.
And you should.
I forget how many years ago it was, Jamie. I think it was at least 5, maybe 6 years ago. I was talking to you about the price of 30-30, and I told you what I found some for, and I asked you if it was a good deal because I hadn't got into 30-30 yet, and you're like, "Yeah, it's a good deal." So I bought all of it without having the 30-30.
$10 a box, y'all.
Yeah, that's a good deal.
I'll
Yeah,
say it.
I snapped all of it up.
Well, next time you go to one of your gun stores, see what it costs now.
Oh, it's insane. That's the same box of ammo that I bought back then. Now, the last time I saw it, I believe was like 45,
Woo.
something like that.
I got 2 sets of dies that I don't have guns for, and that's 9mm and 7mm mag.
You don't own a 9mm?
Nope.
Wow.
You know,
What's the matter with
CW
that? What's to be surprised about?
9mm.
I don't think that's fine. I don't think that's strange.
You wouldn't.
Yeah, Mister, I have 100 calibers.
I do have a 9mm conversion barrel for one of my Glocks, but that's the closest I come.
I've got a set of Mario and Viejo will appreciate this. A set of Hollywood dies in 270.
Mm-hmm.
Got a press to go with it?
No,
Pressed.
no, I don't have the press. I've got the dies, and they were in bad
Good
shape.
start.
They were in bad shape. I put them in the tumbler, and I'm still picking corn cob and walnut out of them, but they're cleaned up but they're pretty. I mean, they're real pretty. I got a set of Lyman dies for 32 Smith & Wesson that are in the black box.
Mm-hmm.
I have no idea how old those are.
Cardboard.
Yeah.
Diamond Americans.
Those old Hollywood presses are cool if you can get a hold of
Yeah.
them. They're beefy, strong.
Yeah, very nice presses.
Beefy.
That's another
No,
thing. Hillbilly collects and he don't even know it. It's reloading presses.
I do have two, and they're awesome. But yeah, I haven't really got to talk to you guys about that. But I am doing a little reloading. A guy that lives down there, he has a house down there, you know, in kind of a summer home. So he has a little gun range and stuff like that. And so, you know, me and him become good friends. And anyway, when he comes down and he gets time, he'll holler at me, and I'll go over there and, you know, kind of watch him and help do a little bit of reloading, you know, trying to learn a few things and stuff. I still have some stuff I need to buy, you know, but yeah, I'm really excited to get started because, yeah, I won, and then Scotsman was awesome to bless me with one. Well, the first one, but yeah, the other one's still new in the box, or still in the box. I'm not even taking it out yet, but I do have Scotsman's set up and everything up there on the table and everything. So yeah, I'm really excited to get, you know, doing more of that.
That's good, buddy.
It's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Let me say this about back to Leadsmith. I got your email, buddy. I appreciate that information. I'm gonna check into that. We're talking about. That's why I put Kyle Lust comment up there. What you late to the party, buddy? We would already been talking about our collection of bullet molds. And then Leadsmith sent me an email about a bullet that I saw on his video about that Caldwell table, shooting table.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and he had a really good bullet in that, good looking bullet in his 7.62 by 39, and I thought, it's a 160 grain bullet, and it's around nose flat point, like some of the Lee designs. And I thought 160 grain would be excellent. And it's cast in 314, so I could use that if I could size it down to 310 or 309. I could use that in 30-30 and use it in my Mosin. So anytime you can use a die, one mold for two different rifles or cartridges,
Mm-hmm.
I think that's a good investment. So,
Yep.
Yeah. Something else I was supposed to talk about over here in the side chat.
Something else a lot of us collect and probably don't really think about it too much is conversion kits.
Yeah. Especially those shotgun inserts. Those are pretty cool. Oh, yeah. Let me find that comment. Garage Guy. It was Garage Guy. And we got Artak and Daughter showed up. Thanks for being here, buddy. Good to see you. Here's a question for the panel from Garage Guy. So how many of one thing makes you a collector?
That's
So
a good
I'm
question.
thinking,
Two.
Garage Guy, you don't need to be asking questions like that when a man like you owns as many of those Taurus revolvers as you do.
Like I said, hunter, gatherer, and collector.
He was
Hey,
asking about
Jeremy.
32 dies. I've got 3 sets of 32 dies.
Yeah. There's Lever Guns 50. What's going on, buddy?
Hey, I had a customer come in and hand me a set of Redding dies for 308. And he said, I can't get these to work. They're supposed to be the best dies on earth. Here, you can have them.
Wow.
And I went home and opened up the set and looked at the sizing die, and it didn't have a bushing in it. Well, no wonder you didn't get it to work.
You're right.
So so I ordered the bushing, and guess what? Then I had 3 other sets, Lee and 2 RCBS sets of 308 dies. So I got 4 sets of 308 dies.
Okay. I actually got a couple of sets that are more of, sentimental than anything else. Like I have RCBS 308 dies that I got from Willie Bullet Man.
Oh yeah.
I
Yeah,
kept
that's cool.
them. I think I've only used them once, but I just keep them for nostalgia purposes than anything else. And he sent me also a set of RCBS for the Mosin. I still have those. Yeah, those will never go anywhere. Those are going to be part of me. But yeah, they just kind of hold sentimental value for me.
Yeah, see, sentimental value takes your collectibles to another level. Those are things that you'll never part with, and anything we get from our older family members or somebody like Willie that's done gone on to his reward and stuff like that. That takes stuff that we have. To answer Garage Guy's question, it only takes one like that to be a collector, buddy.
Yeah, it's I'm blessed to have the press that Willie had, and on top of that, even before I got that, Willie had sent me some die sets and a couple other things, and even though I told him I'd pay him for them, he wouldn't take any money from me. So I'm blessed to have all that stuff, man. And I tell you, it's a humbling experience when you stand there and you start running that press, man, and you just think about Willie as you're loading, dude.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you this much, Mario. I knew Willie and I loved Willie, but he would want you to be using those dies.
Oh, I know. I'm gonna use them soon.
Yeah, man. I can tell you, he's looking down, going, dude, what the hell are you doing?
Yeah, well, you're not using those dies I gave you, huh? I get it.
And I'll say this about that also. On the 5th of this month was his anniversary. So we kind of missed that. And Lever Gun's 50, since he got a Winchester 53 from Willie, and I was with him that day. I was with the 2 of them when that happened.
He just posted a new video on hunting with that too.
Wow.
And that was a 25-20, I believe.
Yep. Button mag, really nice rifle.
Yeah, I think it was a really nice rifle. It was in really good shape, but it wasn't in as good a shape as we thought it was. But I think you got a deal there on that one, Lever Guns 50. And the reason I say that is because he brought some reloads and some brass with that. So that was pretty nice to get all that brass and that preloaded ammo. And I know they were hand loads, so you probably had to tear them down, buddy. I understand that, but
Well, this is 2A related, but we can all collect memories, and I don't have anything that personally belonged to Willie, but I do have, thanks to that man up there, I was graced with his presence. And what a fantastic guy he was. And him gimping around the shop, loud and proud, and
Oh, don't call him loud and proud because he's Army.
yeah, he was loud. He was large and in charge.
Yeah, he was. And
every time I
just
talk to him,
instantly loved the guy. I mean, it's hard not to. And only met him the one time, and it was like you met a friend for life. You know,
No, this is me talking to Willie, and I got my phone like this because he's so freaking loud. And I'm like, you know, microphone is supposed to amplify your voice. You do not need to yell over the phone. And then he stayed quiet for a little bit. Yeah, whatever. I don't care. And he just kept going again. I'm like,
Yeah,
okay.
that's Willie. So, Carolyn, I wish I could say your name. I think I got I hope I got no, it's Carnelin. Anyway, we're referring to our friend Willie Bullet Man, and he has a YouTube channel. You can look him up and check him out. His videos are still up the last I checked.
Yep.
Yeah, they're still up for right now.
Dear friend of ours. And this comment right here by Lever Guns will tell you in proof that deer hunting is more about where you put that bullet than it is about the power of the cartridge.
amen.
He took $3 with a 25-20.
A couple of them were flops too.
Yep. Yeah, it was always one of the greatest things that I'm glad I was able to do was to get Willie a ticket out to Georgia, man. You should have seen how happy that man was. And I was just happy that I was able to do it for him.
Yeah, I liked her, James, and we're late for the verse of the week, so I'll get over onto that. But I need to know what happened to Ruger, old Army girl.
COVID got her.
Oh man,
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
yeah. Carnelin, I'm in Georgia, and Rebels in North Carolina. CW's in Connecticut. American Hillbilly Up is in Missouri. The Crazy Scotsman is in Ohio. Six is in Texas. Mark Thomas is in Pennsylvania. Mario Mosen and Viejo 2A Walter are both in California. And all these guys have YouTube channels. So if you get a chance, check them out and hopefully subscribe. So it's time for our verse of the week, and doing something a little different this week. And Walter, you'll have to help me probably. We're going to be in Galatians chapter 5, starting in verses 13 and 14. And Galatians 5:13 says, "For you, brethren, have been called to liberty. Only do not use liberty as an opportunity for the flesh, but through love serve one another." Verse 14, "For all the law is fulfilled in one word, even in this, you shall love your neighbor as yourself." So that verse 14 comment there, we've been through again before. And this is the Apostle Paul writing to the church in Galatia. And the Christian life is we're supposed to live a life of liberty. And as we hear all the time, Jesus came to set captives free and not to keep them in bondage or put them in bondage all over again. But sometimes it makes me wonder, people that are not Christians look at us Christians, and we live this life of strict rules, and I wonder if they think we're really living a life of freedom and liberty, and I think that's part of the way the world looks at us. But I think some of that is self-imposed. Oh, I can't do this and I can't do that. Like, I'm a Baptist, you can't go dancing or anything like that. But there's a guy called Morris, a commentator, and he's talking about Paul here. He says he is not saying that a certain measure of liberty was grudgingly accorded believers. He is saying that freedom is of the essence of being Christian. It is the fundamental basis of all Christian living. So the next point there is only do not use liberty as an opportunity of the flesh. And let me put this in plain Southern English. Your salvation is not your license to sin. And I think that's, if we're not careful, and that's the reason Paul elaborates on this verse. If we're not careful, we look at our salvation and that forgiveness from Christ as allowing us to go live evil lifestyles in front of a lost world that when they see us live like that, they say, well, they ain't no different from us. And they ain't wrong. But you got to understand first, here Paul is writing to brethren. And as he puts it in chapter 3, verse 26, who are all sons of God through faith in Christ Jesus. And in the next verse, he refers to brethren as those who were baptized into Christ and have put on Christ. So earlier in the chapter, he's talking about we've been made free by Christ Jesus. And now he's calling us to stand fast in the liberty of, come on, man, my screen went out. Stand fast in the liberty by which Christ has made us free. But the main point there is you've got to be, it brings out that question is how will they use their liberty? And I'm sure that's what Paul was thinking about when he was writing this. So don't use liberty as an opportunity for the flesh. And that's an option for us. You see, there's this, and a part of what we talked about last week, there's this doctrine of predestination and predetermination versus free will, this dichotomy, if you will, between, you can do whatever you want, and God has ordained you to be chosen to be formed into the image of Jesus. Well, all of that's true, and it seems contradictory, but it's not. It's where we go down and we live a life that's of liberty and freedom from sin. In other words, he set us free from that bondage of sin so that we don't have to live lives of sinful and evil things that we do. We choose to use our liberty. And this is what Paul is saying right here. Let me get back over here. What we're looking at is here. So don't use liberty as an opportunity for the flesh, but through love, serve one another. We need to take that freedom and that life free from sin and bondage to sin to serve each other through love, because after all, we've learned it from early on in our verses of the week. You shall love your neighbor as yourself. And what we got to ask ourselves there is how much do we love ourselves? Some of us don't love ourselves very much at all. Some of us love ourselves way too much. But one of my things there is I wish Paul would have included to love God above all and then love your neighbor as yourself. Because if you don't love God first and foremost, there's no way you can love your neighbor as yourself. Because in the flesh, as we're talking about, it's impossible to love and serve other people. Did I do that right? Did that make sense?
That made perfect sense, Jamie.
Yeah. And, and in this letter that Paul wrote to the Galatians, at that time, he was a little upset with what was going on with the Galatians. And that's why he wrote this letter, to kind of help him get back and walk the straight and narrow again, because he kind of thought they were drifting away. And he tells them that. And and almost in not, in those words today, you guys are kind of messing up here, and here's what I think you ought to be doing. And not only that, but he tells them, here's what you're doing wrong. And a big part of that was him saying, hey, you can be free if you follow the Spirit. If you let yourself drift away, then you're not going to be free anymore. And it's in this same chapter, I think, where Paul enumerates all. He talks about don't let liberty. Don't think that this liberty means you got free reign, like Jamie was talking about. And he says, if you don't know what I'm talking about, here's the list. And boy, he numbers them from 1 to about 400 of all the different things you could be doing that aren't right. And it's in that chapter 5. Some of it, I mean, is pertinent today of, things that folks are doing when they step off the pathway. And it's a good chapter, and it's almost like he's trying to reschool the Galatians on what the straight road is supposed to look like. And he says, you guys aren't on it right now.
Ain't that the truth? Yeah, Levergun says his favorite Bible story is the prodigal son.
I tell you, Jamie, I've been a member of a number of churches, and when a preacher called altar call for people to come down and, pray for all the sins they created last week, you started noticing the same folks were going down every week. And that altar call got longer and longer and longer until and this a lot depends on the preacher and the denomination you're in. And you're looking at some point, you're looking at your watch. You've already asked Jesus to forgive you. You're looking at your watch and going, okay, it's fried chicken time, and it's 12:30, and these people are still, and it's the same people every week. Are they going down for show? And that was the first verse you showed up. Don't do it for the flesh. And I'm like, if you people are committing the same sins over and over again and going down to altar call every week, come on, man. It's not a blank check. It's just not a blank check. You're supposed to live your life the way it's instructed for you to live your life. And I equate that with, if you look at the Japanese, which is not Christian at all, the shoguns had a code. They had a way. They had a path they went down, but that was for this life on earth. Christians have that same kind of code, but it's for the afterlife. It's for our future, after we're gone and we've ascended into heaven. But that's the way I look at that. I may be way off course there, but I have a weird way of looking at stuff.
Well, I think when you're not putting God in front and at the center of your actions, I think even that seeking repentance becomes a sinful thing. Like you said, when you're doing it for show.
Yes, sir.
And a lot of you folks won't understand what I'm talking about, but in the South, especially in some of these smaller churches, people will start shouting and they'll start dancing around kind of and get in the spirit, and some will even speak in tongues and that kind of thing.
Just think of the Blues Brothers. If you haven't seen the Blues Brothers, go watch the Blues Brothers and you'll get a good idea.
Well, there's even churches that handle snakes, take up the circuit, as they call it.
Yep.
And You know, I've been in those kind of churches, and you know, I had to stop and pray, and I'm like, Lord, forgive me if I'm not worshiping you the way I should, and if I'm not, you know, am I missing something? Because I don't want to miss any of your blessings. And you know, um, reminds me of what Rebel said there about watching your watch. You know, I heard a man preach for an hour and a half on 2 Corinthians 12 about I know a man in the flesh or in the spirit I don't know, and he said, but I was given a thorn in the flesh, and 3 times I prayed and asked God to remove that thorn in my flesh, and he answered, my grace is sufficient for you. And when I prayed that prayer, earnestly seeking God, if I'm missing something, you know, let me know. In other words, I thought they were more religious than me. They were more spiritual than me. And that's the answer I got. My grace is sufficient for you.
Yes.
And I think that's important for us to know that we need to be focused on God and His will for our lives. And that's what I want y'all to understand from me every Friday night at 9:30.
And not to make light of the verse of the week at all, because it's very important to expound on Jamie's words. Here in the South, we tend to josh at each other about our denominations. So when me and my wife, and it was a second marriage for both of us, we decided to get married. We decided to get married in a little chapel up in Blowing Rock, North Carolina. And the crazy old lady that ran the chapel, sweet lady, she's probably long dead now. And she said, well, I appreciate y'all coming to me to perform your wedding. What minister would you like to have? And Jody kind of looked at me, and I said, well, I'd like a Methodist, because they tend to put a lifesaver in their mouth. And when that lifesaver dissolves, they're done. Okay. They're done with their sermon. They're very short spoken. And I just want a simple Christian wedding. Well, the day we went up to get married, she looked at me and she said, I couldn't get a Methodist minister. I got a Presbyterian. And I just rolled my eyes. I was like, you know, which is very Scottish. I mean, you know, no offense, Jason, but the Presbyterians are known to be long-winded, and this guy was, you know, and he finally was giving us kind of a marital quiz like we were teenagers. You know, we'd both been there, done that. And I actually, during the wedding, looked at the guy and goes, do you want to get paid? And he went, yeah. And I went, hush. He went right on to the vows, you know, but he was getting really long-winded. But we as Southerners, we tend to josh about each other's denomination, even though we're all Christians. You know, it's just our way.
Well, I don't take any offense, because we Scots ain't really long-winded. That would be the Irish.
Well, I'm both, Jason.
Yeah.
You got the wrong country there, brother.
No, I'm both.
I was going to say, whatever religion you are about long-winded, I agree, buddy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's crazy, some of those deals that, you know, they'll keep talking and talking and talking. But I just want to say something real quick. You know, to give, I think, you know, what you was talking about earlier, Jamie, and you guys, to give, like, to show mercy, to show love, and all that stuff. I think it's something that, like, you can experience yourself, and how you do that is, you know,
having a personal relationship with the good Lord, you know, through Jesus Christ. And that love and that mercy and forgiveness, you know, you'll feel that, you'll see it, you know, just on a personal level. And in order to give that to others, I think, you know, it makes a whole different thing if you can feel that yourself and you can see it with your own eyes, you know. And you know, and then, you know, I don't believe you'd be doing it for show or whatever, because you actually, you know, experienced it, you know. Even if somebody in your, you know, if you have bad family life, whatever the case might be, you can get that through, you know, good Lord. So if you're out there seeking mercy, love, and all that, it's out there for you to have. And then, you know, when you receive that and stuff, it's so much easier to share with others, especially forgiveness.
Yeah, and this is just a really a good letter to kind of. It's a short one. Galatians not a long letter, but he says just a lot of really good stuff that applies today. And a big piece of it is, hey, you got to walk in the Spirit. You got to walk the walk, folks. It's one thing to just talk, but you got to walk it. And he tells the Galatians, hey, you know, it's good to help another man carry his burdens. You know, we hope that a man can carry his own burdens, but if he can't, then pitch in and help. You know, because if you get to thinking that you're tall hog at the trough when you ain't nothing but a short shoat at the hind, you know what? Said the only one you're fooling is yourself, and you're not doing anybody any good. But if you get out there and you do your best to do, you know, carry your own load, but you're not afraid to help a man who needs his help, that's walking in the Spirit. That's part of what's right. So, and I like that. I like that part of what he says.
Walter just talks Southern with the shoot reference. I like that.
That's my Kentucky background. My mother's from Kentucky. So my granddad was.
Well, it's perfect. It's absolutely perfect.
I guess not many people know what a shoat even is.
Let me say one thing about Let me say one more thing, and we'll start going through the room. Get out of here. We're already late. Hillbilly's talking about love and mercy, and I think those are important things. I think mercy and kindness are important things that. But the word that comes to my mind is loving people, love your neighbor as yourself. I think the word that comes to mind that we heard Jesus say a lot is compassion. And it kind of rhymes with action. So if you you can have love and mercy in your heart, but it's not love and mercy and kindness to someone who needs help until you put it into action. And when you put it into action is when you're having or showing compassion.
Mm-hmm.
And you got to make sure you're doing it the right way and for the right reason, and not for your self importance or self justification and to make yourself better in a way.
Yeah, see, that's what we talked about last Friday night.
Well spoken, Jason.
We were talking about that exact thing last week. If any of y'all heard what I was saying last week, I mean,
we heard most of it.
Yeah,
we heard most of it. Walter filled in.
Yeah.
You know, one of the things that always cracks me up is people ask me all the time over the years, all the things that we've done and all the people we've helped. They always ask me, why did I do it? I always tell them, I don't know. And you know what Jamie says? I know.
Yep. I told Jamie last week I was filling in his words as Walter was filling in his words. And Jamie told me they weren't my words. And I'm like, I know it, brother. Those are God's words.
I got in there doing my Bible study last Friday morning, and it was like God told me, grab that paper and pen. And I started reading and I started writing, and that's what came out. And yeah,
Good stuff, buddy.
Jamie, we always know everything you put up here for Bible studies from the heart, and it always rings a bell with me, and it's a good way to live your life. It's the best way to live your life, and it's the only way you'll find your way to heaven is to follow the scripture.
All right. Yeah. Jamie said we've got to start getting to the room. We're already starting to get close to being over time.
yeah. And what Bama Dad says, talking about the Good Samaritan, Jesus, what's his exact words there, Bama Dad? The Good Samaritan had compassion on him.
Mhm.
So compassion's a big thing with me. So who wants to go first? Hillbilly, do you have to go? And I'll go ahead, Mark.
I'll start it off. We do what we do because it's the right thing to do.
Mhm.
That's it. Nothing more, nothing less.
You betcha.
That's right, brother. What you got coming up this week, man?
Not much. Just making it through, getting into March. Thank goodness for better weather. February was a long grind.
Amen.
Hoping for some warm weather and time out outside. So, good night, all. Thanks for having me.
Not
Thanks for being
Mark,
here, brother.
Bye,
God
Mark.
bless.
buddy. But if you don't care, Jamie, I'll go ahead and go because I am going to do just a pop up show after this. Talk to a few buddies, and I think we're just going to do a little talking about bench rest shooting. Not a very long chat, but So anyway, thank you so much for having me on here. It's always so much fun. I really appreciate y'all so much. You side chat panel, you guys are just awesome. I'm happy to call you all friends and family. So we've got guns. Well, we're gonna have a pop-up chat here in just a few minutes, but we got Guns, Beer, and Therapy on Saturday nights. So if you ain't doing nothing, come visit us.
And where did Gizzard move off to?
He moved
Monday
to
night.
Monday nights.
Very good. Well,
Yeah.
thanks for being here, man.
Hey, thank you. I love y'all.
We love
Love you
you, and
too.
there ain't nothing you can do about it.
All right. Y'all have a blessed weekend.
Later,
You do
Mike.
the same, brother.
Bye.
Who wants to go next? Mario?
Hey.
Hey, what you got coming up this week?
Nothing much, man. I've been working a lot lately, but I got to did like 2,000 rounds of 9mm on that like 750. Man, that thing is no joke. Ooh, Lord. But I'm just playing with my little progressive press and enjoying life. The reason why I'm really just reloading so much is that my presses are in the garage, and unfortunately in the summertime it's just overwhelming there, so I can't really reload or do much during the summer. So I'm trying to prep as much ammo as I can just so I have for the rest of the spring and summertime before I reload back again and cash it. Nothing much, man. I appreciate the invite. I appreciate you guys inviting me and let me be part of the panel.
Well, we appreciate you, Mario. Thanks for being here, brother. Walter, you want to go next?
Yeah, I'll be quick. I got a couple videos lined up for you next week. We got Wad Cutter Wednesday coming out on Wednesday, and I'll have a Breathe a Few next Friday. Going to get out and shoot. Monday, I'm going to shoot that new Model 10 38 special, so I got to make up some ammo for that this weekend. I got a couple packages of cast lead bullets to send out to a couple of our brothers here, and that's what's happening at Casa de Viejo. happy to be here. Happy to see all the folks in the side chat. You guys know we all love you. It's a great big family, and I'm very happy to be included in it. So that's what's happening here. Rebel, what do you got going on, Mike?
Well, I'm getting ready for the 43rd annual groundhog shoot and begging for prize table donations, and sent Gene's boss a letter today from Republic Ammunition. I tried to not name drop too much, but I've sent letters out to everyone. It's tough as a small business to raise we used to give away Night 4 scopes as a first prize, and nowadays we're lucky to get a Diamondback Vortex, and it's a precision rifle match that's been running almost half a century, and I wish suppliers would pay more attention to that, but business is business, and that's just the way it is. So you ask as many people as you can, and you hope for the best. I don't think guys come for the prize table so much. We give away cash prizes, so it's the fun, the camaraderie. I've got the hot dog vendor lined up. That's the main thing. I got lunch, and she'll be serving chili dogs. I hope they're better than what Walter had. But otherwise, there's 2 porta johns I've got will be smoking. But she was a big hit last year, and I'll try to take pictures and post some of them. Some of the groups these guys lay down under condition. I mean, this is a range that's private. It's in a river bottom, and the wind dynamic changes hourly. We have 3 flags flying above the covered shooting area, and sometimes all 3 of them are going in different directions. And at 500 yards, that groundhog target turns into a hula dancer about 4 foot tall during the mirage, and some of the groups these guys lay down are just absolutely awesome. So I look forward to doing that this year. I hope we can continue it, and we'll just see what happens.
Well, let's go ahead and plug another event you got coming up. We're having a meet and greet shooting day, 1st of July, right?
Mm-hmm.
And all of you are invited to Rebel's place, not his house, his business. Bullseye Sporting Goods in Vail, North Carolina. So we hope a lot of y'all can come join us. This is the first time we're making this public, but y'all start making your plans for that. That's going to be on we need to talk about this next week, but it's going to be June 30th and July the 1st. Is that right?
I think that's what we discussed. Yes. I'm going to try to do it at 2 different ranges. The range that is associated with the store, and my club range, and that just depends on how many people show up. I can only accommodate so many people as guests at my club. So, but we'll see. But we're going to have a good time nonetheless.
There's one of them coming. Be great to meet Garage Guy face to face.
Yep.
So we hope we need to talk about this before quitting time next week, and get it out there to more people. Anyway, we got to clear out of here. 6, what you got coming up this week, brother?
Well, after week's worth of antibiotics. I'm starting to feel better, so I'm going to get in there and get some reloading done. I've already got all my stuff laid out for 44s. Start getting that done. Hopefully, I can go outside and cast. Maybe Sunday, get some casting done that I need to do, some powder coating, and get ready. So maybe next weekend, will there be a cowboy shoot next weekend? But hopefully Sunday I can go to the range and do some range shooting. So.
You know, I thank God carries a 44.
Hell yeah, he does.
45. 45.
45. That's correct.
I think. I wonder what Jesus carries. Probably a 40 Smith and Wesson.
No.
A 9mm.
That's all I've got.
Thanks for being here, Six, and congratulations on your new barrel.
Thank you, and thank Brian. It's crazy.
Happy to do it. Happy to do it.
That's just crazy.
Very cool. Very cool. Y'all go check out that video. Scotsman, what you got coming up, bro?
Unfortunately, we got another cold day coming tomorrow. My heat's not been working for the last 2 days. So I got to go and work on the heat in the morning and try to figure out why it's not working again. Been running fine all this time, and now suddenly, middle of the week, it started not working again. So landlord was over working on it the other day and it didn't get going. So we'll be working on that tomorrow. Hopefully get that going. And Sunday, I believe, is supposed to be a little bit nicer. So hopefully maybe get some time to do some loading and get up and maybe do a little bit of shooting. And if not, then hopefully I can get up and shoot during the week because we'll be back to regular work hours next week. So.
Fuzz, my man.
Led Smith says 515. God carries a 44.
I don't know. I don't see God as a dirty, hairy guy. I see him more as an Elmer Keith guy.
Anyway, I'll have to find that up. What book is that, Led Smith? I'm gonna look it up. Anyway, thanks for being here, Scotsman. You doing live stream Sunday night?
Yeah, we should be.
Cool. Y'all tune in for that Sunday night 7. CW.
Well, I just want to thank everybody for being here tonight. We had some pretty good numbers, a pretty good chat going on, lots of going back and forth, and pretty good side chats going on in the side chat. They had their own stuff going on over there, so that was pretty good to see. I got 3 videos coming next week. I got a cooking video coming tomorrow. Something. So that'll be different. And then I got a new stock on one of my rifles that I'm coming out on, I don't know, Monday or Tuesday. And then on Thursday, I got a video on another Herritt barrel. Another Herritt barrel I got. So I got more contender stuff. So I got a couple things going on. I got, hopefully I get to the range. And we'll see how the week goes. We're supposed to have rain tomorrow, but it's supposed to be warmer. I think it's starting out about mid-30s. So we have a lot of days that never even got that high. So it's pretty warm. So I'm happy to see that. I don't know what Sunday's going to bring for weather, but we'll see. Starting out tomorrow morning, going to breakfast with a couple of friends, and we'll see where we end up. Last week we ended up at Cabela's, so we'll see where we end up tomorrow.
Amen, Idaho Rogers, USMC. I just want to say, are you done?
Yes, sir.
Okay. We got to have, this is going to be the topic next week. What does God and Jesus carry? Timothy says,
Look, y'all can sit here and argue all you want. Y'all know it's a 44 Magnum. It's the greatest.
You're gonna have to back it up, boys. You're gonna have to back it up with chapter and verse.
Right. You got to back it up with scripture. And I think Leadsmith's got a leg up on you on that one. Anyway, we got to clear out of here. We're already 12 minutes late. I'm sorry. We love you. There ain't nothing you can do about it. We hope the Lord blesses y'all real good. And if he's willing, we'll see you next Friday night at 8 o'clock. Say good night.